There's over 6 million registered voters in Gauteng. That's about 23% of the registered population. Johannesburg is the economic hub of the country where many flock in hope of finding gold. SABC News reporter Nozintombi Miya is observing voting day developments at the Sonder Water Informal Settlement in Khutsong in the West Rand. A very good afternoon to you, Nozintombi. What are voters there saying to you?
Thank you so much, Nzinga. We have crisscrossed the length of the Mirafong area that comprises of Khutsong and Carltonville and a new RDP development settlement called the Elijah Bachai settlement. But where we're standing right now is called the Sonder Water Informal Settlement. And, as you can see just behind me, the state of this environment or the state of this area, it has no roads. Sanitation is absolutely poor, and the people are still living in shacks or informal settlements. But to give us more clarity on this and to also explain himself as to why this informal settlement is in the state that it's in, we're joined by the mayor of the Mirafong district, Mr. Silo. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Silo. We're in Sonder Water, an informal settlement, and these elections are critical because these are the service delivery elections that speaks to the municipality. Why are we still seeing areas like this in Khutsong?
Thank you very much. We are in Khutsong indeed, Sonder Water. We can confirm that 5 years ago, this area did not have electricity. We did electrify this area. The challenge that we are having, like earlier on you indicated, Elijah Bachai, those are developments where we are taking people from informal settlements to those areas. But we must agree that our backlog remains a challenge, but we've been on numerous occasions or consistently so been trying to ensure that we take these communities to that area. But in the meantime, we do ensure that basic services are provided to these communities.
So, Mayor, one of the biggest concerns that the community has indicated has been a concern around roads, a lack of roads. No access to water. Why are there no roads? At least some form of something that must happen that shows that there's some sort of roads, because we understand that there's even illegal zamazamas digging in these parts that we're seeing now.
What I can confirm is that if you look behind me, you can see clearly graded roads which make access easy for the community. The only challenge we are having is that we cannot have construct roads in informal settlements. What we must do is to ensure that we have a resettlement plan where we take the entire Khutsong into a much safer area. So there are areas in Khutsong that you can't develop at all. Even constructing roads you can't, because you have to put in stormwater channels, and that require a stable land. So the aim is to ensure that, as you know, that our area is dolomitic.
We've seen the sinkhole issues, definitely.
Yes. So the aim is to ensure that we ultimately move this community to a safer area. But in the meantime, let's continue to provide basic services to the community that is actually in informal settlements. So we do indeed take care of them. So in acknowledging that resettlement will take long, we had to bring other services like electricity, because in previously it was more of easy nyoka, but now you can see that working together with Eskom, we have been able to provide, and we continuously so ensure that toilets this side are actually serviced by the municipality on continuous basis. They also have running tap water that they are receiving consistently. Just on the left, we are constructing a major reservoir that will make sure that water is distributed or supplied consistently to this area. So there is indeed something that we're doing.
Before I cut you off there, Mayor, apologies for that. What we do want to know is that we know that some of the community members in Khutsong have been resistant to move towards the RDPs. We know that last month the Premier came and you ordered a walkabout of the Khutsong area, but you were chased out. Have the relations improved since then, and have you seen any of the residents taking up the offer to move to the Elijah Bachai RDP settlement section?
Let's start by correcting the Premier was not chased away. We met a community that had concerns. They registered their concerns and their concerns were addressed. The Premier was also here last week as a follow-up. We met with the concerned people who have been affected by sinkholes, and the Premier had fruitful engagement with those community members. So on resistance, we are also acknowledging that yes, due to the capacity of houses that we are giving to them, they are still facing challenge, but we are working on it.
All right, thank you so much. That was the mayor of the Mirafang municipality. Before we hand over to you, we just want to speak to some of the residents here. Hi, how are you? Come speak to me. Come stand outside here in the sun. Come speak to me. So your mayor is here. And you've registered some of your issues and some of your concerns. What for you as a resident of the Sonder Water Informal Settlement do you want to say to your mayor about the service delivery issues that you've faced?
Yes. Okay, as I'm BCCWay, research of the West Rand. So we have issues of there's no removal of the waste, and there's no pole to keep the tram. Potholes. Then we have potholes. Then they have to give us some vouchers. You see, so some of them they have to go to other side to extension 5 to remove potholes. They don't give them some voucher so they can build the house that they want.
But the mayor is saying that that they are bringing in service providers to help you guys with basic toilets, with basic water, and with basic services. Is this true? As a resident, this is what the mayor is saying. Is this true?
Yes, some of them are true, like water, yes. But some of them, they are not true.
Like what?
Like toilets. They've been so much, maybe 6 months, there's no removal of toilets. Since there's voters and these things of IC, from last week, they started to take the removal of toilets. Yes.
All right. Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much. That's just a resident, one of the residents here at the Sonder Water Informal Settlement here in Khutsong. We're standing right outside the voting station at Khutsong. And the area here in Sonder Water, it's an informal settlement, and we're hearing from the residents disputing elements of what the district mayor of Mirafang is saying. And this is the state that we find ourselves in here as we continue our day here with voting for the municipal elections, where residents are saying one thing and disputing what is being said by officials and authorities. But at the end of the day, it's going to be the voters' count that really will determine the truth of whether or not services really have been provided and they feel that they have received sufficient services. With that, it's back to you in the studio.